So hi everyone, it's yet another day that we have to intentionally rejoice. Like I keep on saying, joy has not to come naturally. Sometimes you really have to be so intentional. Everything around you does not allow you to rejoice, but you have to intentionally decide I'm gonna rejoice, irrespective of the situation. I'm Rebecca Omwine. I'm a psychologist and an evangelist with PCA Karubali South, and I thank God for this opportunity and this day. I've just been thinking about this period we are in of the COVID-19 and the challenges it has brought into our lives. And sometimes we may be thinking that it is just about an issue of the physical, the quarantined, those people who have tested positive, but no. I've looked at it and I have come to realize that some of us are really affected mentally, psychologically, emotionally, and even socially. And before I continue, I would maybe want to ask ourselves, what is the meaning of mental health? When we say a person is mentally health, it is that person who has the capacity to operate psychologically, emotionally. This person is able to operate well, and they are able, that individual is able to balance things in life. Today, during this period of Corona, we need to look and see how well are we able to balance. We are parents, we are teenagers, we are young adults, we are husbands, we are wives, we are employees, we were used to getting to work every other day. Today it is not happening. How are we able to balance the psychological, the emotional, the spiritual, the parenting, all those things around us? How well are we able to balance that? With me is Mercy Chenge, and would want to invite her to tell us. She's a mother, she's a parent, she's a wife, she's a career mother, she's all those. I invite her to just tell us how is she managing it. So welcome, Mercy. Feel free to share. And maybe the first question I would want to ask, how is your here and now? How is it making you feel? This staying in the house, the quarantine thing, the maintaining distance, you're inside your house with your children. Maybe you can even tell us, how big is your house that you have to maintain 1.5 with your family? Welcome.
Thank you so much. Yeah. For me now in here, let me say it's been one day at a time since we were, let me say like a parent, I would start as a parent. Just from nowhere you have brought children at home, not something you had planned to do. It was not anywhere in your budget. It was not anywhere in your planning. It was not anywhere even in your mind. And here are the children. Again, here and now, I personally had a new job, so I was just getting to get used to the new job, even to know how it works. And here it's been disrupted. There were meetings that were supposed to happen. There were so many plans, and suddenly things have just changed. It is a total mess, if I could say. In the beginning, it was actually even a disaster, if I could say.
A total mess, in the beginning, a real disaster.
Yes.
Well, I just hope we know the meaning of total mess and disaster. That's a mother talking. Now, Mercy,
Yes.
from the parenting point of view, now that it is a total mess and it is a real disaster, and I believe that none of your family members have been diagnosed with the virus, and it is still total mess without the virus. It is still a disaster without the virus. How are you managing? And maybe you can even tell us, when you're talking about the parenting, how old are your children? And are they of the same age that when you say nobody should go out, everybody it's like, yes, madam, we can't. Are they of the same age? Is there a challenge of age difference and stuff?
Maybe I could explain a bit about the total mess and the disaster. I am a mother of 4. I have a teenager, he's 14. I have a preteen, she's 10. I have a preschooler, he's 6. And I have a toddler, he's going to turn 2 years in a month's time. So you can imagine the disaster part. All these different ages, all of them have different versions of whatever is happening, and there are guidelines now that they have to be followed. How do you start telling a child who is below 2 years old to wash their hands? And the 6-year-old is coming up with other stories. The 14-year-old is a teenager, he has his own mind. The 10-year-old, she wants to comply, but you can see the mess. And now the disaster is again, like I said, it's a new job I have. You have to pick your child from school. You had not budgeted for that, so you can imagine. You had planned yourself. This is what is going to happen this time, here, and here you want to go for the children. And then there is everything. Okay, here's a mother. It is not about how things happen. It's about how prepared you want to be. Because again, you look at the ages you have. Like maybe we say like the stories the way they've been going. There is going to be a lockdown. If you're infected, you're going to be locked in your house. There were so many things flying. For you to be able to manage all these things, it's you first to manage yourself. And that is the time you have to like sit down and think, okay, what do I do? How do I get to this so that I'm able to help these children? Now they're your children. There is no teacher. There is no one to help you. Remember, not even anyone who wants to come close to you. Remember, there is again the 1.5. You have to keep the 1.5 distance. And it's not, as parents, there is a way it's easy for you even to call someone, I need help here. I can look at my children for a few days and then I organize myself. Now, this time, everyone is looking at their own, and not only children, even for their own sake. So, let me say, I intentionally decided to think and strategize. How am I going to deal with this? So when the children came home, I think I first of all felt like I need to get them to a routine so that even me, I'm able to breathe and tell them, it's okay. This is your home. You've been sent home, yes, but it is your home. You're supposed to be at school, so you have to manage the questions. And for you to do this, you have to minimize the social media, you have to minimize the television, so that they don't get all sorts of information, which most of the time are wrong. Remember, I have a teenager who can access those things. I have a house help who they can access through her, even if they don't get it from you. So you have to start talking to everyone who is around the house, so that they're able to help you. Now it is like a self-contained problem. You have to work from within, and you have to use everything you have. So for the young ones, you have to give them a routine close to what they were used to, even in school. Like the preschooler, he knows at this time I'm supposed to be playing. So even if the teenager is still trying to do his books and stuff, don't expect the preschooler to do the same. If they're doing 2 hours, make sure he can go and have a time for himself and do something different. So that one manages your stress level. And maybe before you go out to work, because I had to go to work, you have to leave your house in order, so that even at work you have to concentrate. And as I said, it is a new job, so you can imagine how do you start even saying, this is what I would want to do. Or so you have to find a way of talking to an employee so that he can understand what is happening in your house.
Wow. Mercy, I must say that I really envy you that amidst all that mess and disaster, you still can afford a smile. And I'm just trying to fit myself in your shoe, and I think it is too big. I just can't fit in. So I don't even want to get to that. But I must appreciate that you are a strong woman. And if I go to the part of we women, like preparing ourselves. It is very true. Even when we are talking of cooking, we prepare from morning, that in the evening, this is what I will cook. No one prepared for COVID-19. And so I believe it is a mess for everybody out there. I believe it is a mess even to the women who are wives. I believe it is a mess to the men who are right now in the house. Maybe that is a topic we shall come and talk about another day. But today we want to encourage you out there, you who is a mother and a parent, just like we've been told by Mercy, those age differences, you really need to intentionally organize yourself on how you're going to meet the needs of each one of them, and not suppress one at the expense of the other. So it's my hope and prayer that every woman out there will be able to manage themselves so that they can be able to handle the stresses, because these are stresses of the day. We do not know how long it is going to stay with us. We have fear of loss. We are fearing we are going to lose our freedom, we are going to lose our jobs, we are going to, by the way, the biggest fear today is loss of a loved one. Where you're thinking, how do I afford to lose my grandfather or my mother or my sister? And we've been told burial can only be attended by 15 people. Looking at our family, we are more than 15. So who goes and who doesn't? So we are at real fear, and the fear of uncertainty. You don't know whether tomorrow you're going to contract the virus. You don't know whether tomorrow you're going to be a victim, and all those things. But out there, encourage yourself. Here is a mother with us who is telling us that it is messy, it is a disaster, but then she has intentionally purposed to manage her stress by doing what she can now organize herself to do, even if she never got the opportunity to first organize herself. She has organized herself inside the crisis. May the Lord bless you out there. May you encourage yourself. May you be whole. That is the prayer I can make for all of us today. Till we meet again, because we shall surely come back very soon, so that again we can discuss, how are you handling your husband, who has to be at home every other day, and we were not used to that. So we will come back and ask ourselves, we have our husbands at home, and by the way, the brain of a man and the brain of a woman are wired differently. A woman can stay in the house, she can even sleep, she can even be in the house 24/7. A man is not wired that way. So when that man has to stay in the house throughout, and he doesn't know whether tomorrow he's leaving the house, how are you managing? I can see some people doing some social media out there and thinking that women are so happy, so excited. Hallelujah, my husband is in the house throughout. Some of us, it's not true. Some of us are feeling like you have a burden on your shoulders. You don't know when it will come off you. So we are coming back and discuss that. Thank you. Till we meet again. See you.